Hi there, welcome to the Wade Institute Showcase Pitch Night. I'm Claire Brown, your MC for the evening. I'm an alumna of the 2018 Master of Entrepreneurship cohort, and I'm thrilled to be here with you this evening. On behalf of the Wade Institute, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, where we are presenting from, and where the Wade Institute is located. The Wurundjeri people are the people of the Wurrun, the River White Gum, who have been custodians of this land for thousands of years. We pay our respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Indigenous persons present tonight. We know some of you are joining us from other parts of the state and country, so we invite you to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where you are watching from tonight by popping this into the Slack chat. If you haven't yet joined the Wade Slack channel, click on the link via the event website so you can interact with other attendees throughout the evening. As an alum, I look back to this night with great fondness. It was such an exciting time that wraps up an intense year of learning and professional and personal growth. It is a bittersweet moment of a special year coming to an end, with the anticipation of a new beginning. I know there's plenty of excitement, anticipation and a few nerves amongst our students right now, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Acting Director of the Wade Institute, Caitlin Sharrett, to introduce our 2020 Master of Entrepreneurship cohort.
Thanks, Claire. And welcome to everyone joining us tonight. We are thrilled to be sharing our annual showcase event with all of you, whether you're joining us from Victoria or around the world. I'm delighted to be introducing you this evening to the 2020 Master of Entrepreneurship cohort. This is our 5th year of delivering the Master of Entrepreneurship in partnership with the University of Melbourne. This year's students have spent the last 12 months developing and honing their entrepreneurial skills and mindsets, and have built 3 business ideas during this time. The Masters is an intense year of hands-on learning, and we love seeing our students build their confidence and capabilities as they progress throughout their entrepreneurial journeys. This year has obviously looked a lot different to other years. Having shifted to an online format from early in our first semester, the 2020 cohort has overcome a range of new challenges. They've learned to pitch online, manage teams, and do customer research in a virtual context. They've adapted their businesses for the COVID environment. They have excelled and shown extraordinary resilience, perseverance, and optimism in the face of uncertainty and change. And through all of this, we've watched them band together and support one another, as well as have some fun along the way. So the cohort that we are introducing you to tonight is a truly unique and special group of whom we are incredibly proud. The pitches you are going to see this evening are business ideas that these students have developed over the last 13 weeks. There were 12 phenomenal pitches produced within this year's Master of Entrepreneurship cohort, 5 of which we will share with you tonight. In addition to the peer support they've had from each other, these students have an entire village behind them who have helped them get to where they are tonight. There's a long list of supporters who contribute to the success of our students. I would especially like to thank our incredibly committed Master of Entrepreneurship faculty who are so generous with their knowledge and time. I'd like to thank our guest speakers, mentors, and panelists who throughout the entire year have made it possible for our students to learn from the really practical knowledge of others who have walked ahead of them. I'd also like to thank our alumni who remain so involved in the Wade community and give back in a number of ways. We're proud to see them going on to pursue exciting opportunities, including joining accelerators, breaking world records, and making a huge impact within other organizations. Others to thank for contributing to the success of our students include the entire Wade Institute team and Ormond College community, especially the donors whose generosity make this journey possible for some of our students. And of course, our partners across the broader entrepreneurial ecosystem, including the university's MAP and TRAM programs. And lastly, none of this would be possible without Peter Wade, whose generous donation made Wade Institute a reality. So thank you to our entire community. We are so appreciative of all your support. And I'm sure you are as proud as I am to see the talent that we're showcasing tonight. I'll now pass you back over to Claire to kick things off for tonight.
Thanks, Caitlin. It's certainly been a big year at Wade, and it's so impressive to see how the students have excelled, given the year we've had. Before we get started, here's a few words of encouragement and congrats from some of my fellow alumni.
Hey teams, congratulations on making it to the final pitches. I'm sure you're nervous and you're excited at the same time, and trust me, it's totally normal. Just want you to know that we're very proud of you all, and we're really looking forward to seeing you smash it out of the park on this final pitch night. Good luck and stay positive.
Hey Wade cohort of 2020, congratulations on graduating your Masters and best of luck on your pitches. It's been a really turbulent year, no doubt that's going to set you up. The resilience you've shown, the grit and the determination will hold you in good stead for what you do post the Masters. So congratulations, and I really look forward to seeing what you produce for Showcase. Cheers.
Hola, hi. Dear 2020 cohort, the COVID cohort and an amazing cohort. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for being able to finish your master's degree under this difficult situation. And I would like to wish you the best of luck in your pitching night and enjoy it. It's a great night. Secondly, I would like to express you my admiration for the commitment and courage you have shown this year. All the previous cohort, we are very proud of you. You have shown a great amount of resilience and a great attitude. And as you know, those are the main skills for an entrepreneur. Thank you very much for the lesson you have taught us this year on how to overcome difficult situations. I would like to wish you the best of luck in your next step. And if one of those steps brings you to Spain, remember that you have a waiter here waiting for you. So good luck and thank you very much.
Hi Cohort 2020, congratulations on making it to Showcase Night. This is one of the best nights of your journey here at the Wade, so enjoy it, have a blast. Good luck to all the teams that are presenting tonight, and for all the teams that are part of the cohort. You guys have done such an amazing job this year. Tonight is a celebration for all of you, so enjoy it, have a blast. We're also proud of your commitment and perseverance that you've shown this year. I think it's such a difficult year for everybody, and what you guys have done with this year is incredible. You've just taken it by the horns and shown that you guys are true entrepreneurs. So well done and congratulations everybody once again. Have fun tonight, and hopefully we can stay in touch and work together in the coming year.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Now I'd like to introduce our stellar judging panel for tonight, starting with our benefactor, Peter Wade. Because of him, we've been able to create this support system for entrepreneurs to make a disproportionate impact on benefiting society, and for that, we are incredibly thankful. We also have Judy Anderson, CEO, Star Victoria, one of Australia's largest startup community organisations, aimed at creating more founders and better founders. And finally, we have Ariane Barker, CEO of Scale Investors, Australia's first and only network of angel investors who invest in exceptional female founders. Ariane is also an alumna of Wade Institute's VC Catalyst Investor Program. So our format for tonight is this. 5 teams will pitch for 5 minutes, followed by a 5-minute Q&A from the judging panel, who will be deliberating on winners. As an audience member, you will also have an opportunity to vote for your favourite pitch for the People's Choice Award, for which the winner will receive $1,000 in seed funding. Voting will take place straight after the pitches. The major prize winner will receive $6,000 in seed funding, and the runner-up will receive $3,000 in seed funding as well. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to the first of our 5 teams tonight, Arjun from Inarm, who is helping future generations secure their financial future.
Good evening, everyone. We all have a why. Here's mine. That's me in 2012, 16 and carefree. My father is one of South Africa's leading entrepreneurs in pharmaceuticals. Unfortunately, a poorly disclosed investment lost my father his entire life savings, in the millions, and 5 years later, his life. Not knowing how or where to invest cost us everything. As a young person, I now had to take care of my mother and found myself in the same position. I didn't know how or where to invest my money. I was back at square one. This is when I realized that it was my life's mission to ensure that no family would have to go through something like this ever again. Today, I am here to deliver on that mission. Today, I'm grateful to present Inam. We make impact investing accessible for young people to show them how and where to invest their money, providing an opportunity for better outcomes. 57% of Australians aged 18 to 29 experienced financial stress in the last 3 months alone, reflecting concerns over future spending and savings plans. Meet Ali, a 22-year-old socially aware Australian earning an income. We conducted over 36 in-depth interviews with young Australians like Ali. 82% of them said that they wanted to learn more about how or where to invest their money. 93% said that the impact their investment made was important to them. Inam has validated that young Australians don't know how or where to invest their money, a global problem that, if not addressed early, leads to unwanted consequences. Our landmark local solution? An app that shows you how to invest your money and tells you exactly where it's being invested and what impact it will have. Sounds pretty simple, right? Let me show you how it works. Step 1. Choose how you'd like to invest through a variety of themes. Let's try clean energy, shall we? Step 2. Decide where within those themes you'd like to invest. I'm feeling like investing in a wind farm today, guys. Step 3. Make your deposit, make an investment, and make an impact that can reduce carbon emissions by up to 3 tons a day. Don't worry, we'll explain everything every step of the way. A portion of our profits support underprivileged youths, so it really is impact full circle. The subscription model is a staple way of how our customers typically pay for things. We want their investment journey to feel no different. Our basic plan adds value by aggregating research insights from the public domain, while the premium plan adds themes and in-house Inam research to make those investment decisions more informed. Why impact investing and why now? Impact assets under management grew 17% last year alone. If that wasn't enough, in the last 3 years, if you invested in impact funds, you'd have earned a 25% higher return than large equity funds. Yeah, you heard that right, 25%. Turns out, Inam appeals to young people. We launched our MVP website last week, and we've already signed up 50 beta users. We received organic subscriptions from people we don't know. This was one of the comments posted about Inam. The organic subscriptions and organic validation really keeps us pushing forward. Why is Inam different? Our competitors like Spaceship, Raise, and Stake are focused on investing in predefined portfolios of listed companies not focused on authentic impact. Inam is focused on impact. We provide 100% disclosure on all investments. We educate you throughout the process without compromising your returns, and we let you choose your investment and impact. And we're made for young people. Inam is nothing without its team. Beck and I understand the importance of financial decisions for our families. My lived experience and investment banking background, coupled with Beck's guidance as an impact investor and corporate affairs professional, mean Inam is in good hands. Social impact is not an afterthought for us. It's the starting point. Here's how you can help. We're looking for a technical co-founder to help us build a compliant and robust platform, an AFSL partner to help license an AFSL, and an introduction to an impact investment partner so that we can kickstart the first partnership for investment offtake to beta launch. I strongly believe that if Papa had access to a platform like Inam, he'd be around today. Thank you and welcome to Inam, Accessible Impact Investing. I'm now open to any questions. Thank you.
Very good detailed presentation, and you're a good salesman with the project. My question is related to barriers to entry. Is it particularly difficult for anybody else to copy your program here? And secondly, I guess, to scale this up and get the platform right, what level of funding do you think you're going to need for the next phase?
Sure thing. Thank you very much, Peter. In terms of the barriers to entry, I'll just take you to this slide. The typical impact investment offered to a retail investor by Melior Group, for example, has a minimum investment criteria of $50,000. Through the interviews we've conducted, the typical balance in our customers' bank accounts is only between $10,000 and $20,000. This is why Inam stands in the position for their investors, where we aggregate that funding and partner with these investment groups like Impact Investment Group, Melior, and Australian Ethical in order to make those investments accessible. So the barrier to entry from a B2C customer is very much there, which is why Inam exists. And in terms of the kind of funding we require, this kind of a platform really requires robust and compliant application from a security perspective and a user interface perspective. A typical application development costs around $100,000, and although that is a large amount, given the kind of scale we're looking to achieve with our subscription model at about 100,000 users in the near future of the program, we certainly believe that's achievable and a revenue goal that we can achieve.
Thanks. Can I just ask another quick one? The $10,000 balance, the young investors, do a lot of them have the $10,000? I mean, I've got teenagers at the moment and they're investing in ComSec and their sort of balance is more $2,000 to $3,000. Is the $10,000 a real figure?
Yes, Peter, it is. So what we're trying to do, and we've specifically targeted our customers to be individuals who have graduated and have started working. This is why our target market has that kind of potential. And through the interviews we've conducted, we were very fortunate that people, because we were young and they're connected with us, they disclosed the actual amount in their bank account to us, and were very open about what they were holding and what their future expenses were looking like. Although not the specific amount, but a range that we're very confident is the truth.
Great presentation, agree. The salesman skills are definitely there. In regards to your ask, looking for a technical co-founder, would definitely recommend you jump into the Startup Victoria community Slack group. There's a co-founder and job opportunities channel in there that you're welcome to post in. My question was more around your business model. So obviously there's the subscription fee, but could you maybe just share a little bit more detail? Do you clip the ticket anywhere else? And what's your pathway to profitability?
Sure thing. So if you look at the current slide, so what we'd like to do for our business model really is partner with industry leaders, which is Impact Investment Group, Melior, and Australian Ethical. What we've done through our research is we believe the incentive for these large institutional investors to shift from a very small number of large checks to then move to a large number of small checks far outweighs the other. And this is because of the obvious barrier of entry and because they are experts in this field. What we're proposing to do is off-take investments from their portfolio and allow them to be presented to our customer segment. This essentially works as if you were to go in a grocery market and provide your product, you ask for a consignment. What we're trying to do is ask for the investment on consignment, as the investors have already locked in a large portfolio. We're asking for a small portion of that on consignment so that we can make it accessible to our customers. The subscription model is the one angle of revenue, and the other side is obviously a commission that we're looking to factor in by facilitating the accessibility of these investments to our customers through our investment partners.
Great pitch. We have intimate knowledge of what you're looking to do at Scale Investors, and personally, I've worked in financial services for over 25 years, so have really good insight about what's going on in the Australian market. There's a huge problem around this solution that you're proposing, so very excited about this proposal. Happy to help with your asks, by the way, so that we can take that offline. And on that, I think my query slash comment is, have you spoken with large financial services institutions yet? Because their customers are the ones looking for this, and that's your biggest barrier to entry. Where are you at with the enterprise sales conversion side of the conversations?
Thank you very much for that question, Ariane. What we're looking to do is validate that side of the business model as we progress. In the last 12 weeks, we've focused on our customer to really understand what they're looking for. We've tried to understand how they're going to pay for it and how we can make it work from a business perspective. The validation from the investor side in terms of exactly how those investments are going to work is still pending, but we're working on that as we speak, arranging meetings and trying to get introductions as mentioned. So, yeah.
Congratulations, happy to help. We can chat offline.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Arjun. Wow, tough one to follow. But our next pitch takes us from financial security to food security. I'd like to introduce Valentina from Australian Honey Hub.
Welcome to Australian Honey Hub. I'm Valentina, a passionate consumer of honey. Today I'm going to talk about beekeepers. Smaller beekeepers love making honey, but they find it challenging to get themselves established in the marketplace, making for a very expensive hobby. So why are beekeepers important? They help nature's ecosystem. The more beekeepers we have, the more bees we have, and the greater the pollination of both our food crops and our planet. Unfortunately, bee numbers are declining globally. New South Wales alone lost 500,000 recently in bushfires. That's why beekeepers are more important than ever. Australian Honey Hub aims to support existing and new beekeepers right across Australia, and we're going to achieve this through our social initiative, an e-commerce platform to promote beekeepers and bee education. We have a two-sided business model. We're going to be connecting beekeepers with consumers. Beekeepers can advertise their unique artisan honey. They can also avail of our services, such as branding, packaging, and marketing. It's Australian Honey Hub's responsibility to attract consumers to our website. We publish curated content so they can learn about bees, honey, and how to get involved in the bee community. So in terms of our beachhead, we've got beekeepers with less than 10 hives that have excess honey sitting on their shelves because they're not really great marketers. We've also got consumers aged 35 to 64 who are health conscious and love the backstory of honey. What is its origin, and a little bit about the farmer. So both of these groups have a challenge. The honey marketplace is a confusing one. Which honey should I buy? What do these terms mean? Where should I sell my honey? And that's why Australian Honey Hub aims to be different. We aim to be the single go-to place for all things honey. Unlike eBay, for example, which really has a lot of different products, we're just going to focus on honey. And with our points of differentiation, such as a focus on education, quality, and social good, we really do hope to make a difference to the community. So in terms of the markets that we're going to explore, we're looking at Australia and Japan. Australians love honey. It's worth $154 million a year. And with increasingly diverse consumption patterns, we're looking at an annual growth rate of 7%. In terms of Japan, my business partners from there, so we have connections, and we're interested to explore this space because Japanese love premium food products. They have an affinity for Australian goods. And additionally, they import 90% of their honey, of which Australian is worth 1% only. A great opportunity to explore further. So let's take a look at what we've done so far in terms of the business. We've built a website and we have pre-orders of $345 over the last 2 weeks. Having spoken to a number of beekeepers, they don't necessarily want to get involved in branding, packaging or marketing, so we've developed a compelling product and services offering, and we have 3 beekeepers onboarded to date. We have a social impact program with 2 schools interested in our schools program and a shared community beehive where you can co-invest in a professionally managed beehive. There's 2 people interested in that. And in terms of our roadmap, we're looking to extend our MVP. Stage 2 is about partnering with different groups and scaling our operations from a technology and packaging perspective, and finally heading to Japan. In terms of the team, we're a small group, myself with project management experience and Harris with APAC sales experience. We're looking to onboard a head of marketing shortly. Thank you for your time, and remember to be the difference.
Thank you so much, Valentina. I don't think I've ever wanted to eat honey more in my life than just after watching that presentation. I might have to get a snack in between the break. Thank you so much for your pitch. My question is actually more around sort of thinking about the current environment that we're in, supply chain, logistics, operations, everything sort of just is a little bit longer, more expensive? What are your plans, I guess, in this current environment, going from now to servicing an international market? How's that impacting your plans?
Yeah, certainly. So it is a bit of a struggle, as you mentioned, from a logistics perspective. So initially we're focused on Victoria duty, and we're looking to understand the best model, particularly from a branding, packaging and marketing perspective. So to look at getting our learnings within Victoria. And then obviously to slowly expand. As you're aware, there's costs associated with delivering goods, and that does eat into the profits. But hopefully if we can bring on board like a number of different clients and there's repeat customers, and we'll start to be able to scale on that front.
Thanks, Judy, and congratulations, Valentina. I agree with Judy. I'm definitely keen to get some honey. It's a great product, and we're very excited about what's happening in Australia with this product and market opportunity. My question is around your competitors, and in a dream state, what is your ultimate vision for your business? So is there anybody else out there that is doing aspects of what you're envisaging doing, or are you seeing yourselves as a first mover advantage, building the utopia market for marketplace for honey producers?
I guess in terms of competitors, you look at eBay, for instance, and Gumtree. They do advertise honey. I think our point of difference is that we're going to be bringing the community along on a journey, an educational journey, where they can really learn about the different types of honey and what they should be looking for. And we've got that focus on quality. So I do see us as being rather unique in the space, a little bit of a first mover. I guess those other groups sort of have different offerings. Yeah.
Great. And just a very brief, quick follow-up question. So the consumers and the customers who you've been speaking to, you're getting that sense that there's that clear momentum and desire to be getting that access to the marketplace?
Yep, certainly. So what we're finding, Ariane, is that people are buying honey from interstate. Obviously, it has different properties. And so this is becoming more and more interesting to the marketplace. And I guess that's sort of what I alluded to earlier with the diversification of the honey consumption patterns. So there is promise. It's still early days, and it is a bit of a novelty to be buying honey online, but we are seeing an increasing trend towards that.
Thank you very much. I've got a question. The All Things Honey, I got just a little bit confused with. So you'll bring the people together, all the beekeepers from the total geography of the area, into a manufacturing base. Is that correct?
Good question, Peter. So there'll be two parts to our platform. There'll be one component where anyone really can advertise, and I'll be taking a commission on sale. The other part of the platform is where I'll be working with individual producers, either to brand, package or market their product. And I guess that's the section of the platform which I would then guarantee the quality on.
So there won't be an overarching brand?
Good question. So we will have our Australian Honey Hub branded honey, which a number of smaller producers will choose to sit under, but they can elect to do that or not, or they could simply advertise their own brand, on the other component of the channel.
Because there seems to be there's different quality aspects to the honey market from what I see. I mean, when I go into the supermarket, there's a very, what I call a cheap brand, and then at the other end there seems to be the Manuka honey. You see yourself presumably on the Manuka level?
That's a great question. I don't necessarily believe that Manuka is, or that super premium is necessarily the answer moving forward. I feel that as people become more knowledgeable about honey, they'll begin to understand the benefits of raw honey or different varieties which perhaps aren't Manuka, and more reasonably priced. So the market will become more informed. So I see us as sitting right across the spectrum, like obviously with a focus on quality, but in terms of price points, it'll sit across the spectrum there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter.
How sweet was that? Thanks, Valentina. Our next entrepreneur is addressing one of our great modern day challenges, and is something that is more important than ever given the year we've had, and that is mental well-being. Allow me to introduce Stephanie from I Am Mindful.
Hi, my name's Stephanie, and I'm a positive psychology practitioner and registered mindfulness teacher. I'm here today to talk to you about I Am Mindful, a social enterprise where our goal is to help people learn to be their own mental health heroes. This is Sky. She struggles with anxiety, low self-esteem, and suicidal thoughts. She's dealing with grief, having recently lost her grandfather, and she's feeling isolated because of restrictions, and all these difficult emotions are making it hard to focus on VCE. I understand her because I was like her. And I'm sure if you think about it, you've got a Sky in your own life too. Because in one of the most prosperous nations on earth, Australia, 1 in 4 women aged 16 to 17 have self-harmed. Youth suicide rates are at a 10-year high, and 1 in 5 live with anxiety or depression. And COVID has amplified this problem. We have a mental health pandemic in our young people, and every day that we don't do something about it, we're getting closer to bringing up almost an entire generation of people who are more depressed and at greater risk of suicide than ever before. But we can change this. With the right mechanisms in place, we can help our young people learn to manage those tough times better and be more skillful and effective with that. And if we can do that, soon we'll start to see people feeling more hopeful, less likely to self-harm, and thus we'll be easing the burden on our acute mental health services. However, there's 3 obstacles for this happening: skills, scale, and stigma. Skills, we don't learn it in school, from our parents or TV, so people don't know how to manage when they're struggling. Scale, even if there was a solution, the audience is so fragmented and widespread it'd be hard to get it out to everyone who needs it. And finally, stigma, even though we're better than we've ever been before, stigma still exists. And that's why I've invented this. It's an evidence-based toolkit which allows one to manage their intense emotions and distress in their own space and environment. It can be used with psychologists, it can be used in school and at home or work. And it teaches skills for mindfulness, emotion regulation, distraction, and distress tolerance. It includes a range of sensory items, such as an eye mask, which helps trigger the mammalian dive reflex. And all these tools combine to help one learn to self-soothe and diffuse from difficult thoughts. It also comes with an instruction guide, which explains the science behind how all this works. And here's how it overcomes those 3 obstacles as mentioned before. We're going to go in through schools, and that does 3 things. 1, skills. Psychoeducation for mindfulness, emotion regulation, distress tolerance, and distraction. Scale. It meets the fragmentation problem because most young women are in schools. And lastly, stigma. It meets the stigma head on because everyone's going to be getting it at the exact same time. And we have the possibility of targeting both girls and boys. So if everyone in Australia got a box, the market value would be $162 million. And I know this will work because I launched my site, and within 72 hours, I sold $3,000 worth of boxes. We launched it online, and the people who bought a box had such positive things to say, such as they wished that they had received one when they were in hospital, and they think that this would not only help with their own anxiety, but also their mothers. We've got boxes going to Lauriston, Monash Children's Hospital, Mentone Grammar. We're in conversations with Are You OK about a collaboration, and we're being sponsored by doTERRA Oils. Next steps. We plan to send out our boxes, get feedback, measure the effectiveness of it, test business models such as subscription, and then we'll be running a pilot with Year 7 and 8 students at Lauriston, where we will also be opening their mental health week and raising money for a foundation we're setting up which aims to give a free box to as many people under the age of 25 as possible admitted to a psychiatric hospital. And this is to assist with their recovery journey as an inpatient and then also once they've been discharged. I'd be grateful for introductions today to schools, hospitals and healthcare, corporate and any sponsorship partners that may be a good fit. Thank you so much for your time, and together, let's help our young people learn to be their own mental health heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Steph, so much. Congratulations, great pitch. And congratulations on your traction. Very impressive to have sold $3,000 worth of boxes in 72 hours. That shows us that there's a real market problem out there. And we all personally know many people, as you said, who have that issue. And I think that what you're doing is quite innovative. Can you tell us a little bit more about from an investor perspective? I'll be asking you a question about your business model and your commercial outlook. So I love that you're looking to give free boxes to people, presumably funded through the sold boxes. Can you give us a little bit more insight around how the schools have responded to the idea of you selling boxes through the schools? Is it likely that they're going to take that up in great quantity, or are you looking to go broader to get more boxes sold?
Thank you. That's a great question, and thanks for your positive feedback. Yes, well, the schools that we've been in contact with so far are really happy to promote it, and ultimately our end goal is to get this as a compulsory book list item, but that will obviously take time to test if students are willing to buy through school. So yeah, that's something we'll be looking to test. Otherwise, the B2C channel remains open online for them to buy a box whenever they want.
Stephanie, hi. Fantastic presentation. Well done. You've obviously got a lot of your own effort and beliefs into this program. A couple of questions around the box. The sales figure is just phenomenal. And to do that in 2 weeks is a terrific performance. What were the margins on the boxes? What was the cost of production on those boxes?
Absolutely. Thanks for your question. I have prepared a slide here, which will allow you to see. It's a bit busy, but it just is the breakdown of the box without scale and then with scale. So at the moment, because everything's produced locally in Australia, the cost is quite high to produce it plus shipping, and the profit is about $20 without scale, and then with scale, still using all of the data that I've collected around, again, producing locally, not abroad, it would be around $30 profit per box.
Think you'll be able to lift the price a little bit, or is that the price that you're intending to sell at?
No, well, based on a research sample that I collected with over 300 participants, people said they'd be willing to pay, mainly the younger people, between $40 and $60 price point, as well as shipping. However, we did have a significant amount of people saying that with a subscription model, they'd be willing to, pay more ongoing. And also a lot of people said they'd be willing to pay even $80 plus. However, we want to make this something that's affordable because mental health shouldn't be something that only the elite can afford. It should be something that's available to everyone, which is again why there's that the social enterprise model of giving back to the community.
Well done, thank you.
Great job, Stephanie, and I love the way you started your pitch by telling a personal story, and yeah, I think it's a really relatable problem, and I definitely commend you for solving a problem area that definitely, whilst there's a lot of focus on it, particularly at the moment in the environment that we're in, I think it's great to see another unique solution out there. My question is that around how crowded the market is? You kind of alluded to a little bit in your pitch. It's very fragmented. You've got, and a lot of the currently available solutions are either a traditional service or it's a digital app or something of that like. I guess where do you see the box fitting in that competitive landscape, and I guess how much of that, what's your vision? How do you see this working with, I guess, what may be considered complementary services to what you're providing with the physical support?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, thank you so much for that question. Great question again. I'm not advocating for this box to be a silver bullet, a be-all and end-all. It is basically just another tool for people to add to their toolkit to make their mental health a bit more manageable. So, and I can personally vouch for this, having tools up your sleeve just can make all the difference between something being an absolute disaster and it being just better than a disaster. So this should be, we've started to talk to psychologists as well in that survey and mental health practitioners, and they, 100% it came back that they would advocate for using this within their practice, as well as, referring on to clients to, invest in this as something that they can use in between sessions as well to learn how to, manage their mental health a little bit better, because, we can't expect for a psychologist to constantly be on call for us if we're going through crisis. And, those crisis support services can only do so much. And at the end of the day, we really want to encourage people to, be independent and resilient on themselves and not, it's great to have the support of other people and, the support of, helplines, but, it just gives people a bit of hope to be able to do it themselves and say, I got through that on my own, and I can if I need to.
Totally understand that. You've done a great job.
From mental health in Australian schools, we now travel abroad to Pakistan to hear how this team is helping guarantee something we all take for granted: stable electricity supply. Introducing Komal and Zara from My Solar Gurus.
Hi everyone. Today, Komal and I will introduce you to My Solar Gurus, a sales consultancy platform in the fast-growing Pakistani solar market. Pakistan is a small country with a growing energy demand. Our power supply system, marked by line losses and ill maintenance, gives rise to high electricity bills and frequent power blackouts. Millions of Pakistanis suffer power outages throughout the day, every day. Due to this energy crisis, solar is becoming a standard home appliance and the market is growing exponentially. Here is Ali, a young professional from Lahore. Ali was fed up with the unreliable power supply and wanted to get a solar system installed at his house. He looked around and found too many solar providers, each claiming to be the best. So he chose one recommended by a friend. It's been 2 years now that he has a faulty system and a solar provider who doesn't take his calls. Ali no longer believes in the technology or the expertise of the local solar providers. Through more than 200 surveys with consumers, we found 30% of the responses resonating the same apprehensions. Our solution is an online platform that addresses these apprehensions through an unbiased and credible list of solar providers vetted by My Solar Gurus. The solar providers will have their business reviewed from our technical experts. Consumers will use our platform to compare quotations from credible solar providers and choose the right system on the basis of quality rather than misleading marketing claims. Our core value resides in us being the first impartial solar sales platform in Pakistan. To the consumers, we offer transparency in the tendering process, which will lead to better deals. We will also, as independent consultants, navigate the consumers through the complexities of the decision-making process. To the solar providers, we will offer credibility through independent reviews from our experts as well as through existing consumer feedback. We will also give them access to serious sales leads, which will not require extensive pre-sales work. Now, Komal will lead you through our team and business approach.
Our team, consisting of all Pakistani members, has a combined experience of more than 30 years in solar market in Pakistan and 9 years of experience in social entrepreneurship. We have the expertise and the right networks in Pakistani solar market that are essential to make My Solar Gurus a success. Let me tell you how this will work. Consumers looking for solar systems will contact us through our communication channels. We will forward their information to the solar providers. The solar providers will submit their quotations in a pre-approved comparable format. At this point, the consumer will be able to choose a system that is best suited to their needs. This competitive environment will help the consumers save time and up to $500 per system. We are also offering quality inspection as a premium service to the consumers, where we as a third party will verify and validate the system installed at the consumer's premises. Our revenue model is simple. For the premium service, we are charging $85 to the consumer per system. For our baseline service, we are charging the solar provider a cut from their revenue when they are awarded a project through our platform. We are charging 2.5% of the project's worth, which is actually half the cost of customer acquisition that the solar providers are already spending on. Through data analysis of the last 4 years, we have projected that our total addressable market is going to be $1.5 million in 2021. Solar market in Pakistan has doubled every year for the last 4 years. And most excitingly, it is expected to grow by 23% on average annually for the next 10 years. We believe that this is the right time to enter this market. In order to demonstrate demand, we put up our MVP website, and we were contacted by 3 serious sales leads, and now we are in the process of forming partnerships with the solar providers so that we can provide proposals to these leads. We already have a verbal partnership with the business developer who is working for 3 solar providers, and now we are finalizing the paperwork. We have all borne the brunt of the energy crisis in Pakistan, and we are geared to play our part in making solar systems accessible to the masses. We are differentiated from the business developers because we offer technical advice, transparency in price, and impartiality across vendors. I would now like to open the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that. It's a fascinating project, and I wish you well with it. I think my first question is linked around how will you overcome the integrity issue in Pakistan? Because in all of these areas in Pakistan and all of these major developments, we hear a lot of stories about what's going to happen, but invariably the quality side slips. How are you going to keep the integrity around the production side of the solar panels for a start?
So in our team, we have a wide experience of solar market of Pakistan. Like all 3 of us, we have actually worked in the solar market. We have actually delivered solar systems. We were working for a company. And we know what is happening in Pakistan. People are actually assembling the pre-made manufactured systems they get from China. And the actual flaw is in the customer service, that is not up to the mark. So what we are going to do is we as experts, we will verify and validate the systems that the solar providers are offering. And on top of that, we will also get consumer feedback of people's systems that these solar providers have already installed. And we will merge both of these and then give a rating of the solar providers.
Good. Are you going to be staying mainly in the Punjab where the internet connection and the infrastructure will work better?
Yeah, so to start with, we will be focused more in Punjab and in the bigger cities like Islamabad, Lahore and Multan. And then after that, once we have gained credibility in these areas, we'll venture out into the suburban areas.
And payments will be made presumably through satellite link, through PayPal systems?
The payments we will be getting payments from the solar providers mainly. So the payment with solar provider may not be online. It might be physical payments. But for the consumer side, the premium service, the payments will be online.
Thanks, Kamal. Great job. And I didn't realize how big the problem was for the region. So I'm learning something new tonight. So thank you so much. My question was more around the add-on service that you spoke about. I think I totally understand the marketplace and the business model there. It's been proven in other industries, in different sort of fields. My question was more, what happens if you go out and do that inspection and you do find something is awry? Is that where the service ends in terms of just giving it a ticker across and then, have that impact the rating? Do you provide any sort of I'm just putting myself in the shoes of a consumer who maybe has used your service, trusted a rating, and then got a dodgy result anyway. What happens then in that instance?
Yeah, so in order to avoid that kind of a situation, what we are trying to do is first we already have data of 4,000 consumers that have got systems installed in the last 4 years. So what we are doing is we have bunched them up on basis of their solar providers. We are contacting these solar providers and we are asking them to give us data of give us their portfolios and then give us data of their consumers. So we'll be talking to their consumers to get the after sales and after sales service feedback, and from their portfolio, we'll be judging what kind of systems they have installed. And once they are up to the mark, we will get them on board. Or if they don't, their values don't align with our values, we will not get them on board. So that's the first criteria that we are going for, in order to just mitigate the risk of getting a solar provider on board who is not doing what we are doing.
Congratulations, Zara. Very interesting. My first question is, are your ambitions purely regional, or are you thinking about going global?
So this is a business model that is already is happening. It is happening in Australia, USA, and Europe. So, but this is not happening in Pakistan right now because we are a phase behind Australia in solar market, especially. So right now our main focus is just Pakistan. But as we gain traction, we might venture into Bangladesh or India.
That's a perfect segue into my follow-on question around your traction. So you mentioned setting up your MVP, and you've had inbound referrals from some of those potential companies. Can you give us a bit more insight on your traction so far, please?
So what we are doing is we already have a network of colleagues and ex-colleagues who are working for different solar providers, and we are in talks with the freelance business developer as well. So what we are doing is we are calling them up and we are finalizing our paperwork, like the proposal, what we are going to send to them, that they'll have to sign to give us access to their portfolio and the systems that they already have installed. On the consumer side, we put up our website for 5 days and we ran some ads through Facebook. So we got, I think 6 or 7 people responded to they actually filled our questionnaire, and we called them back and we took their requirements on the systems. So then we have shut it down just in order to get the solar providers on board first.
How long do you think it'll take for you to sign up the solar providers?
We are hoping that we'll have at least 10 solar providers on board within the next 2 months.
Amazing. Great to see your drive and motivation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kamal and Zara. Now, last but not least, I'd like to invite Carolina from Iron Woman, who is poised to revolutionise the way we test for iron deficiency.
There is one mineral your body cannot function without: iron. Iron is often depleted in our diet, which makes us iron deficient and chronically fatigued. This is particularly a problem for working mums. Clinicians require 10,000 iron tests per hospital per year. This is 10 million tests in Australia alone. And clinicians say our current iron deficiency testing is inadequate because it's done in blood, it requires a specialized pathology laboratory, and it hurts newborn babies and autistic children the most. I was one of those iron deficient people. I lived with constant fatigue. It inspired me to invent the Iron Woman saliva iron deficiency test. It can be administered on site without complexity and time of current testing. Its working prototype has been developed at CSIRO and now it has a patent. It doesn't need needles and it can be safely performed at home. Our initial market will be pregnant women and newborn babies through maternal clinics in Victoria. Once established and validated there, it will grow into more than $300 million market in Australia alone. We've taken 6 figures complex laboratory process and we miniaturized it into $30 testing kit. From maternal clinic with an urgent need of such testing will move into hospitals, other clinics, eventually reaching pharmacies and e-commerce. Our growth will be organic. We surveyed and interviewed more than 120 women and we asked them what would stop them from testing their iron levels in saliva and at home. While 62% of them were happy to do it, 32% would be stopped and discouraged by fear. The same we've seen in our competitive analysis. Iron Woman is the only iron deficiency test in saliva on the market. It is as fast and affordable as the competition. However, to be unbeatable, we needed to improve on trust. So to build their trust, we reached out to the clinicians and we asked them to clinically validate Iron Woman. We have been overwhelmed with their enthusiasm ever since. Clinicians trust that Iron Woman can become a very important clinical tool for pediatrics, primary care, obstetrics, and even anesthesia. So far, we have received 5 clinical trial proposals from some of the leading Australian research institutions. They all want to be part of this exciting journey. We decided to go with Professor Desiree Silva from the Origins Project, the most comprehensive study done on pregnant women and their newborn babies in Australia. They already collected more than 3,000 samples and they're happy to share them with us. With the Origins Project, we share the same vision and mission, and we are privileged by this opportunity. And this is our fast track to market. From clinical validation, TGA approval, CSIRO spin-out, and through pilot manufacturing and the distribution through maternal clinics in Victoria. But the greatest value in every endeavour is to continue to pay forward. We will strive to create a sustainable business that will allow us to roll out free iron deficiency testing for the refugees in Australia by the end of 2022. Iron Woman team has a great, deep and a balanced mixture of technical business development and science commercialization skills. I am confident it will overcome all of the challenges ahead. When I reflect on my own journey through all the suffering, lost energy and potential, I would have wished for more testing, more frequent, safer and faster than before. And now you have it. Please help us achieve our mission. Thank you.
Carolina, that was a fantastic pitch. And as someone who has also suffered from iron deficiency, I would love to be able to use this product rather than go in for a blood test to test something so small. So very happy to see someone working on the solution. My question is around what you need. What support do you need to make progress on that roadmap that you articulated?
Thank you so much, Judy, for your question. And it is amazing to how many people and women in particular I talk and I get the same feedback. It really, really confirms my whole idea that we really need it. So thank you for your feedback. As far for the support, so far we have a lot of clinical support. That was the most critical element that we needed. We need to validate Iron Woman by clinicians using clinical trials. With the Origins project, we are very lucky that we already collected all these samples. So we will need financial support, but it's not going to be as great and as big as would have been if we didn't have these samples already collected by the Origins project. So we are in a very fortunate position to just start testing.
Thank you, Carolina. Great pitch as well. Again, having suffered from this at a young age, very intimately familiar with the problem. I'm really interested to understand more about you and the team. So if you could tell us a little bit more about your skills and areas of focus for this innovative solution to this existing market problem, that would be really helpful. And how you're going to fit into the business. In other words, more specifically, your directly related skills and experience prior to launching this.
Thank you, Ariane. So as current team, my current team is a CSIRO team. So I am a technical lead with the 15 years of experience in point of care diagnostic development. I have a great business support, and the team head has 20 years of business development at CSIRO, so a lot of experience. What probably the biggest challenge and where I see the biggest contribution from my team, and in particular from the science commercialization part, is Hishani, with 20 years of IP commercialization experience. So she will be guiding me and helping me, in particular when it comes to the IP transfer from CSIRO to Iron Woman. That is the critical element. So the way we build the team now is we were thinking what skills and expertise we need to spin out Iron Woman out of CSIRO. After that would be team rebuilding again.
Carolina, I thought it was a fantastic technical presentation. Well done. My question moves on from the point of the IP. Can you please explain the relationship that you've got with CSIRO and who actually owns the IP at the moment, and what are the potentials for patent development both within Australia and in international sense as well?
Peter, I'm in a very fortunate position to be actually employed by CSIRO, because CSIRO has actively worked in the last probably a decade creating a pathways for science commercialization. So when it comes to the people like myself, as an inventor within CSIRO, I have already two pathways for science commercialization. One is called CSIRO Startup, and another is called CSIRO Spinout. So it will be up to me and the team and my CSIRO managers to negotiate the best way forward. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not the first. People before me have done it. We have a track record, a solid track record of people having done the same thing. So I can rely on them, on their experience in creating my own way out. One of the most critical elements for CSIRO to allow IP transfer and a spin out is not to have strategic interest in the technology. And again, I'm in a very fortunate position that for Iron Woman, that's not the case. So pretty much the way forward is clean, thought through, and after the clinical validation, which is our major roadblock at this stage, we will be basically just sitting at the table and discussing together the best way forward. And I also would like to say that if I get to that stage that I'm out of CSIRO, I'm going to continue to collaborate, because having CSIRO on my board is only an advantage for me. So my way out is to keep my CSIRO with me.
How amazing were those pictures? They keep getting better and better each year. Now's your chance to have your say on who you think should win the People's Choice Award and a prize of $1,000 for seed funding. To vote, simply click on the voting link on this event webpage, which is open now for the next 5 minutes. While we wait for those votes to come in, I'm going to hand over to Caitlin to tell you about what's been happening at Wade over the last year and introduce one final surprise pitch.
Thanks, Claire. And well done to all of our teams. Those were some fantastic pitches and such a credit to all the hard work you've invested over the last year. Developing the talent that you've just seen tonight is what Wade Institute is all about. We exist to enable people to reach their full entrepreneurial potential. And we do this by building a community that develops entrepreneurs and supports them on their journeys. The Master of Entrepreneurship is a big part of this, but it's just one of the many ways we fulfill our mission at Wade. This year, we've upskilled more than 100 people through our short programs. We've taught entrepreneurship to young Indigenous leaders in partnership with Melbourne Business School's MURA program and Indigenous Business Australia, as well as to students and staff across the University of Melbourne. We've also adapted our short programs to run online and have delivered a virtual EdTech Accelerator Bootcamp for Innovate Ed at the University of Melbourne, as well as an online innovation challenge aimed at developing solutions for the future of higher education. In addition to training entrepreneurs, we also aim to build a support system around them through our programs. To meet the need for a pool of good investors in the ecosystem, we launched VC Catalyst last year in partnership with LaunchVic. This is our investor education program that provides angels and VCs with the tools, skills, and networks to make successful investment decisions in startups. From our first cohort alone, we've seen over 10 million invested in startups over the last year. This year, we delivered our first online version of VC Catalyst, and just 2 weeks ago, graduated and welcomed another 21 startup investors to the Wade family of alumni. At Wade, we also recognize the need to develop future generations of entrepreneurial thinkers and doers. Our upschool program empowers K-12 and TAFE teachers to embed entrepreneurship in classrooms and schools across Australia. Our upschool alumni are making an enormous impact in the K-12 space of entrepreneurship education and have celebrated this recently by delivering our first upschool pitch competition. We're excited to share one of these pitches with you tonight. I'd like to introduce you to our Upschool Entrepreneurship Educators of the Year, Karen and Liesl from Strathcona Girls Grammar. They'll share a few words with you before introducing a pitch from some of their own up-and-coming entrepreneurs. We'll then hear from our benefactor, Peter Wade, who will share his thoughts on their pitch.
Hi Wade community. We'd like to share with you how we've embedded our upschool learning at Strathcona here at Hawthorn at our Year 9 Take Reagan campus.
We run a program called Envision, which includes an entrepreneur unit, and we prepare students to run their small businesses through a series of workshops.
Since attending Upschool, our staff have a great toolkit of ideas and frameworks that we can use confidently in scaffolding learning activities for our students.
We've used the business model canvas, customer profiling and feedback, and useful warm-up games that have been invaluable to creating a more well-rounded program. We were also able to use the skills from the finance workshop that Upschool provided during lockdown.
Our entire course was online this year, which required staff to reflect on how we could empower our students with skills learned at their own pace. Whilst the staff pivoted, so too did the students. Paper Walls, who sold pre-made collages for bedroom walls, decided that they couldn't send cards to outside their 5-kilometre radius. It would be too expensive. Our most popular business, Together Tea, cleverly designed their own cards and sent them with a custom message and tea bag to designated recipients in COVID times.
We had 25 businesses who earned a total of $9,000 profit thanks to our Envision Marketplace team, who were mentored but designed and built and managed the website that was a sales platform for our businesses.
We're really proud to introduce you now to Meg, Kate and Audrey to talk about their business, the Envision Marketplace.
COVID-19 has closed a lot of doors that have locked us in isolation, but also opened a window into the vast opportunities of online retail. We are the Envision Marketplace, and we allow small businesses from our school's entrepreneurship program to reach a wide base of customers who are bored in isolation. Our names are Audrey, Kate, and I'm Meg. As an online marketplace, we're aimed at new businesses that are just starting out and need a little bit of extra help. Whether it be with tech support, communicating with customers, monitoring their store statistics, or really anything else. Each year at Strathcona, the Year 9s take part in an entrepreneurship program called Envision, in which every student has the opportunity to start their own business. Normally, a key part of Envision is the markets that students sell their products at. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, these types of sales are no longer possible. The Envision Marketplace solves this problem and adds several additional qualities into the mix. With so much going on at the moment and the fact that we have to stay isolated, a strong support community has become more important than ever before. Some qualities of our marketplace include the online traffic we receive through Strathcona. As we'll talk about in more detail soon, the school has endorsed us to the Year 9 cohort and furthermore the school community. This link between us helps the site to attract more traffic online. One of our most important qualities is how we integrate several valuable features in one easy-to-use platform. From their store manager page, vendors can edit almost all settings related to their store, add and remove products, monitor sales statistics over time, receive and send notifications, and that's just the beginning. By signing up to the Envision Marketplace, the businesses also gain access to the use of our automated order confirmation and cart abandonment emails. Perhaps something that appeals most to our vendors is our very low prices to use the site. For an Essentials membership, which includes everything you need to have a beautiful and functional online store, we charge just 2.5% of sales through the site. Our Premium membership, which also allows the business to feature on the homepage and receive priority placement when listed amongst others, is also just a mere 5% of sales. In Year 9 at Strathcona, the Envision Entrepreneurship program is truly so important. Speaking from personal experience, this program has been something we've looked forward to for over a year now. Not only does it teach salient lessons in business and finance, but also a lot about creativity, collaboration, and motivation, which are all key pillars of the program that should be maintained despite the pandemic through the use of our site. Our target audience is multifaceted in a way, given that as well as the teenage entrepreneurs from Year 9 at Strathcona, we also have to appeal to the teachers and those that are running this program. Based on this idea and the feedback we've received, we know that together these two very different parties both require the following. Given the clear lack of physical interaction, a strong tech support network has become so important, and this is where our easy-to-follow instructional videos come in. They're easy to adapt for specific or general questions, and even easier to follow. A community-based format is crucial to ensure that all the businesses are comfortable to ask for this help and allow us to support the cohort as a whole. As mentioned, this distance has made it difficult for the average student to coordinate the vast array of sources that information is coming from. Our integrated payment, statistics, and email platform seeks to solve this through clarity and simplicity. Which brings us to the next point, an easy-to-use interface. We have strived to make the marketplace as user-friendly as possible. Of course, there is always room to improve, but for the moment, we believe to have achieved this goal. And naturally, if help is required, we can easily oblige through email, Microsoft Teams, or our instructional videos. Currently in the Year 9 cohort, we have 24 small businesses set to start using the Envision Marketplace as of the 18th of August. Earlier we spoke about the school's endorsement of the site to the Strathcona community. They've done this through their Instagram, of course word of mouth during our Envision sessions, and soon to be the Year 9 newsletter. Additionally, we will be receiving a $150 subsidy. This allowed us to keep the prices extremely low for the vendors whilst not undervaluing the time this has taken. Assuming we have a ratio of 60% Essentials users and 40% Premium users, and also assuming that the businesses make an average profit of about $100, we are looking at a predicted profit of about $220 this year. Yes, the Envision Marketplace will overcome, but moreover advance. With these tools and the lessons that we've learnt, the Envision Marketplace can serve to carry this program past COVID-19 and into a new era of Envision. Thank you.
Audrey, Kate and Meg, welcome to our night at the Pitch Night. You've seen a lot of presentations tonight, the Big Five, and we've seen yours. And all I can say is, girls, what a fantastic job. And let's hope that when we're finished school in a couple of years' time, we're going to see you at the University of Melbourne, studying in some particular course towards entrepreneurship, and then finally ending up at Wade, which would be wonderful. And I think now let's just pass it over to Caitlin, and she can actually tell us who our grand winners are going to be for our pitch night. Well done again, and thank you, girls.
Thanks, Peter. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. I'd like to invite Caitlin to present the awards.
Thanks, Claire. I am thrilled to announce the winner of the People's Choice Award is Arjun from Annam. Congratulations, and thank you to our audience for your participation. And now for our runner-up with the prize of $3,000 in seed funding, we have Kamal and Zara with My Solar Gurus. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, for $6,000 in seed funding, our major prize of the 2020 Wade Showcase, our winner is Carolina of Iron Woman.
Congratulations to the winners and all the teams for fantastic pitches tonight. You should be very proud. Before we wrap up the main event, a big thank you again to our judges Peter Wade, Judy Anderson and Ariane Barker. Also to all the Wade supporters, including our Ormond donors, faculty, founders, investors and mentors. And lastly, thank you to our community for coming along tonight to celebrate our emerging entrepreneurs. This is only the beginning of their journey, so we can't wait to see what unfolds next. Now, we'd like to invite you to meet the teams, join the Zoom rooms via the event webpage, and we look forward to seeing you there. That's a wrap, everyone. Have a great night.